What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Worn Outdoors Network. Here today we're going to be making a little deer sausage, some links, and some deer patties for burgers. And we got the old KitchenAid already set up here with the grinder on the front. I've already pre-soaked the casings here and got them already on the tube, loaded, ready to go, kind of tied off. I've got us some fresh deer meat here and a little pork fat. Now it's up to you, but you can pretty much use pork fat, beef fat, or whatever, whatever you feel comfortable with and take to your liking. But generally, my rule of thumb, I like to go with my sausage links. I like to go with about 2 pounds of deer meat per 1 pound of fat. And then with my patties, I like them a little bit more leaner, and I go with 3 pounds of deer meat to 1 pound of fat, generally. So, before we send them through the grinder here, what we typically like to do is just go ahead and cut that meat up into little chunks. It don't have to be teeny tiny, but something about like that will work out for you. And what you'll do is you'll take that bowl and start putting your meat chunks in there, getting ready to feed it through that grinder. Now, typically, from what I found last time I did this, it works out a lot better if your meat is still a little half frozen. It shreds a bit better and kind of stays together better. So that's what we're gonna stick to, that practice there. Excuse my dog barking in the back. She kind of gets excited. Anything she hears or sees outside going on, she feels like she's got to be a part of sometimes. I love her though. But we actually just killed this deer here down in Florida. A little bit younger than we thought. A little bit far off. Unfortunately, we weren't able to get that one on camera because both cameras died. So we didn't have even the cell phone capability to be able to record then, so that was kind of unfortunate. But in the end, it all works out. We're just starting out, so we'll be able to build and get more footage for you guys later, for sure. But yeah, it's pretty straightforward, pretty simple here with your meats. Cubing it up. And then with this sausage here, what we'll do is we'll go ahead and season it up and get a little taste as well. Show you guys another good pro tip to do before you actually send it through the casings, after you've tumbled it and all that good stuff. So now we'll go ahead and we'll go ahead and turn this old KitchenAid on here. And we'll get our bowl to catch some of this. Load this puppy up. There we go. Now that we got it loaded up, we'll go ahead and start her up with our bowl. shut her down there for now. This is actually, believe it or not, my first time making deer sausage by myself. I've done it before with my grandfather years ago when I was a lot younger, but on my own, standalone kind of deal. This is the very first time I've done it by myself, and so far we'll kind of see what we got going here, but we'll continue here to cut a little bit of that up there. A lot of people typically, like, depending on their preference, make cube steaks and all those sorts of fancy things. Me personally, with my deer that I kill, or my wife or whoever, I prefer to take those shoulders and sometimes the old not the roast, what am I thinking of that? I can't think of the hams. There we go, the hams. I'll take them hams and put them with them shoulders, which another good way to cook hams is to just throw them on a smoker, man, and just let them roll. Honestly, that'll get them going real good. That's also a good way to eat them. But me, preferably, I like to make some burgers and some sausage out of it. It's my favorite way to eat it. But my favorite cut of the deer is the back strap, typically like everybody else. Surprise. Ooh. So here we go, round two with the old KitchenAid here. Get that fat mixed in with that good meat there. Throw some chunks up there. Get rich stuff on down. And after this, we'll go ahead and ease right on into the first casing there. But before we do that, we're going to do a little tumbling and a little seasoning to make sure that everything will taste right. Missing there with a little bit of that fat. Gotta get it closer up here to the front now where we can get some more fat in there on that meat. Let that fat add a little bit of flavor for you. Now, obviously, guys, I ain't really a professional by no means. Just your everyday average guy who enjoys the outdoors. Now we're going to use some of our favorite seasoning, what we typically will put on our deer meat, on if we're grinding it or anything like that, sausage or burgers. But on our ribs, pretty much anything that I barbecue or anything like that. Some of this AC Legs pork sausage seasoning, pretty good stuff. We'll go ahead and add some of that there in the pile before we get to tumbling real good and mixing that seasoning in all. And we'll throw a little bit of seasoning salt in there as well. And then a hint of spice with some cayenne here. Make it have a little bit of flavor there. And before we get to tumbling and mixing real good, we'll go ahead and turn our stove on with the old trusty cast iron here. And we'll take us just a little bit olive oil. Extra virgin. And we'll get that meat in there. And get tumbling them up. Patting it real good. And you want to make sure you get through all the way to the bottom and you're kind of scraping with your fingers there. That way it's all mixed in. None of it tastes bland or anything like that. But as for if I was doing just like burgers right now, I wouldn't have even seasoned it. I would just go ahead and patted it up or just bunched it all together, put it in an old Ziploc, which a better way to preserve the meat better and last longer would be to vacuum seal, but we don't have one of those yet, so I'm sure it'll be coming soon. And then stick it in the freezer. But once you think you've tumbled it pretty good and you got the seasoning all mixed in, what I'll do is go ahead and try to get all the meat off my fingers that I can. Put back in that bowl there. Typically I'll use gloves when I'm working with meat, but today I'm just gonna barehand it. Get you some soap there. Wash your hands really good. I'm gonna test that skillet. She's nice and hot, ready for me. So go ahead and put just a hint here of some olive oil into that skillet. And what we'll do is go ahead and get us a plate, and then we'll take here, give me a nice little ball there, ball it up real good. I'm gonna make me a patty. Put that pup in there. Go ahead and fry up real quick. And then wash our hands again, guys. Yep, so I'm gonna go ahead and lift these puppies here. But yeah, we'll go ahead and cook these up. And actually, what we'll do just for y'all today, we'll go ahead and do a little taste test with my mother-in-law and possibly my wife, because they're both here today. And we'll have them taste it and see how it tastes, and if we need to add a little bit more seasoning, or if it's just right, we got a just right mix or what have you. But yeah, it's pretty fun to me. I enjoy cooking and enjoy being outdoors, stuff like that. So I've always felt like I knew a little bit, no expert by any means, but it's always good to share what you know with others. That way they can try new things and find out other things that they like and what have you. But these patties are just about done, and we'll give you a taste test and reaction. And after that, we'll bring it on back here in the kitchen, and we'll stuff her in the tube or in the casing if it's just how we like it seasoned. If not, we'll season a little bit more and go from there. Good thing about mixing fat in is you get a lot of the good flavor and it doesn't burn as fast. But the thing about deer fat that I don't really care for, and most people may not know that they don't like it, or this is the reason why they don't like it, is deer fat is the reason that you have that gamey taste. So I try to get rid of as much of that as I can while I am processing my deer. Yep, look good. So we'll go ahead and do a little live taste test for you.
I'm not going on camera.
Okay, but try a piece. Let me know how the seasoning is. Is it balanced? Need more or something, or less of something?
It's supposed to be mild.
A little light of mild. Like just enough where you can barely taste the spice.
It needs more.
More spice? Other than that, everything balanced, okay?
Yeah. The center of that's not cooked all the way, so the outside.
Yes. Well, there you have it. A little bit more cayenne in that joker, and we will be perfect. Now, that's why it's always good to go ahead and try to taste some of it before you try to put it in the stuffer and find out it ain't what you're looking for. That is good. A little bit more spice in there. She's right. And, whew. So that's what we'll do. Back to tumbling again. got that mixed up good. We'll go ahead and come back over here and kind of clean up the front of our KitchenAid here / preload for this tube here to make some sausage. All this little extra meat here, we'll just kind of clean it as much as we can. For me, rinse that off here. Got no guard. And then for sausage, I like to use a similar circular guard but a little bit bigger holes. That way, it flows more evenly through. And then we'll take our tube here. Which I preloaded these tubes here, or casings, whatever you want to call them. I preloaded them. That way, it made my life easier when it come time to. Made my life easier when it come time to go ahead and make the sausage. So, actually, sometimes I like to take the blade out and just let it kind of push itself through, but this time I'll go ahead and leave that blade there on. We'll go ahead and load this back up here. See guys, told you she just loves to bark at anything. Just because she can sometimes, it feels like. Hazel, hush. And once you got your knot tied off here at the end, which I told you I preloaded it, so it's already prepped for me. What you'll do is, and you don't want to rush this, you kind of want to go a little slow and take your time with it. But you go ahead and load your grinded meat back. That's just push a little air out, which perfectly normal. But you don't really want a lot of air in here. Sometimes it's impossible to keep it out, but you don't want a lot in there. So go ahead and stack you some meat up here to get it going. And then we will go ahead and, excuse me before I turn it on, kind of want to clean some of this meat off me. There we go. But we'll go ahead and get it coming out. And if it's not feeding, go ahead and get some of that meat through down in there. So right here we got our tube filling up with air. So the best thing to do when that happens is you find you like something as close to a needle as you can. And if you don't have a needle, you take the very tip of the knife there and come down and poke just through a itty bitty hole. Squeeze that old air out of there. Small enough to let the air escape, but not large enough so that the meat will get through or fall out of there once you start packing it. And these sausage casings are just regular hog casings, not that difficult to use. They can be a bit tedious now, so I did go ahead and I soaked them for 30 minutes. The bag says only 15, but I always do a little bit extra when it comes to these, because in warm water, once you go ahead and soak them in warm water, they'll start to expand a little bit. And make sure you rinse the salt off them, because they come pre-packaged in salt. Go ahead and rinse that salt off, and then put them in a bowl and soak them for 30 minutes, and that'll make them more easy to use. Evidently ain't poked big enough. Oh, there we go, it's draining down now. There you'll start to see that meat coming out of there. And all you'll do is just hold this casing here and let it go, come out slow. Kind of feel this link up here. There's some more meat up there. Coming on out of there. Stretching that link out pretty good. we're about to our desired length here. So now, once you get to your desired length, which mine is right here, I'll go ahead and take it and twist it up. And tie it off right there. Get a little bit more slack there. Tie us a little knot. Make sure we slide it all the way down to the end of that sausage there. And there we go. We got us a prime deer sausage. Now, thank you guys for joining and watching this video, checking us out. Make sure you like, subscribe, and comment.